In the busy city of Lagos, in its splendor and squalor setups from Ajego to Ikorodu and from Lekki to Victoria Island, on my way from representing my bank on a chaotic Friday evening, I struggled to get a bus in the midst of a hectic traffic. I managed to get a bus. Immediately I sat down, sadness overwhelmed me. My girlfriend, the love of my life, had dumped me a few weeks earlier. My rent is due, my landlord is problematic, and I'm on the verge of losing my job due to lack of concentration at work. The pain of the death of my mom was still fresh in my heart, as she was the only one who truly and usually consoled me. I was worried about going to an empty house at my age of 37. I have never been married, I had no kids, and the fear of my landlord waiting for me at the entrance of my house is mind-boggling. As we journeyed, a fight erupted in the bus and punches were flying around, but I was too dead in my thoughts to be awakened by another sad reality. A soft hand tapped me, and a gentle voice spoke into my spirit. "We have arrived, Oshodi." I opened my eyes and I checked my old wristwatch. It was 10:25 p.m. I hurriedly jumped out of the bus because Oshodi is a notorious environment with hoodlums and rascals moving around, drinking and smoking while looking for unsuspecting prey to steal from. I was selfish at this point, as I thought of my safety alone. After all, no one cares about me, so why should I be concerned about someone else's safety? After a few steps away, my conscience pricked me and my human consciousness reawakened. I hurriedly walked towards the bus and stretched my hand towards her. She grabbed me firmly as if her life depended on it. "Why are you still seated in the bus when you know it is late and risky?" She responded, "I have a new life to live and the journey is far. Who will go with me? I don't have enough for my fare, and I wonder how I will get my life back again." Her response seemed alien to me, but there was no time to ponder, only time to flee from the Oshodi boys who were approaching us with a ruggedly fierce look on their faces and red eyes. I had little money with me, and I was going to Ego Palace way. "Where are you headed?" I asked her. "I'm going to Mile 2, she responded in a spirit-lifting and heart-melting angelic voice. Since it is the same direction, we hurriedly jumped into another bus without the Lagosian observation. But it did not take long for us to realize that we had entered one chance. Before we got to Seal bus stop, we had been robbed, so I thought, until they pushed me from the moving bus and sped off. I was on the third road, injured. When I raised my face, I saw her standing, not hurt, not alarmed, not frightened, not surprised. I saw her astonishing beauty for the first time. This girl was tall, fine, fair, very hot and sexy. She is sweet 16, even though she is 25, as she told me later on. As I lay there, bruised and bleeding on the cold tarmac of the Lagos road, my head spinning and my spirit broken, my eyes caught hers, Ifunaya. She didn't look real. Her white gown fluttered like mist in the night breeze, untouched by dust or dirt. Her eyes, deep, soulful, sad, pierced through me. I blinked twice, thinking the concussion was playing tricks on my mind. She stretched her hand towards me and said calmly, "Adewale, you will not die tonight. There's still a path you must walk." Her voice echoed not just in my ears, but in my soul, familiar, warm, ancient. I didn't ask how she knew my name. I was too tired, too shaken, too pulled by something deeper than reason. She helped me up, guided me to a corner near a closed shop, and pulled out a small bottle of balm from her purse. She applied it gently to my arm, humming an old Yoruba lullaby. It was exactly how my mother used to make it. I froze. "You know this song?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She nodded, a soft smile dancing on her lips. "Your mother used to sing it to you every time you were afraid." Chills ran down my spine. "How do you know that?" But she only said, "You're not alone, Adewale. You were never alone." Weeks passed. We became inseparable. Ifunaya moved in with me. The landlord never complained again. It was as if she brought a strange peace with her. One evening, as the sun painted the room orange and gold, she looked at me and whispered, "Adewale, I'm pregnant." I froze. A part of me wanted to rejoice, another part questioned the mystery that surrounded her. But she held my hand and said, "Don't be afraid. These boys will carry your name beyond time." 9 months later, in the quiet of dawn, she gave birth to twin boys. I named them Tolu and Teo. Her face glowed with joy as she kissed their foreheads. But that joy was short-lived. She grew weak, fading like the morning dew. Before her last breath, she looked into my eyes and said, I was sent to return what you lost, your joy, your bloodline. I am your mother's spirit, reborn. Now my time is done. Before we proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel to see more interesting and educative tales to educate and empower yourself. Like, comment your view and share so others can learn too. Now, let's proceed. Tears flooded my eyes as she exhaled one last time. Her body went cold, but her face remained serene, peaceful. I buried her with my own hands in the cemetery at Aten. Raising Tolu and Teo wasn't easy. But every time I looked at them, I saw her eyes, her smile, her spirit. The boys grew into brilliant young men, Tolu, a tech entrepreneur known across Africa, Teo, a surgeon who opened hospitals for the poor. They never forgot the lullaby she sang. They hummed it every time they prayed. When I turned 75, my health began to fail. I sat in my old wooden chair, listening to the boys talk about their new projects. I felt peace, real peace. That night, I dreamt of her again. Dressed in white, smiling by a river, arms open wide. I closed my eyes, and my spirit followed her into the light. At my funeral, Tolu and Teo stood side by side, holding hands. The sky wept softly as they sang the lullaby one last time. Twice loved, once lost, and finally fulfilled, my journey had ended, and my legacy lived on through them. The end. Subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications for more stories. Comment, like and share so others can learn.